Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. So in today's video I wanted to use the Concord and Knife stamp set that I just got in, the Hello Lovely stamp set. This collection of cards and envelopes was from the May kit and they're already pre-scored, and I'm going to take this really big outline stamp and that's all we're going to put on the front of these cards. And let me tell you, it will still be high impact. So I'm just making sure that the stamp is going to fit. And I'm going to take my Misty, because since this is a new stamp, I want to be able to stamp it twice if necessary, just to make sure that I get enough Versamark on the card. So I'm just trying to place my magnets to make sure that, you know, it's going to hold down the piece and not be in the way of the stamp itself. So we're going to ink it up with the Versamark ink, and then we're going to press it down. And I press with my hands, but I really do get better traction using a cloth. I feel like it presses down better. I don't know if it really does or not, but it helps. And then I'm going to set that to the side. And I just looked over it, making sure that I could see the pattern clearly and that there wasn't anything that looked like wasn't covered or wasn't full. So I'm just looking for a scratch piece of paper, something that I can dump my glitter embossing powder onto. And then I'm just making sure that all the spots of the stamp are getting the embossing powder on it. And then we're going to go ahead and grab the heat tool. And remember to always let it heat up first. Since these are already pre-scored cards, I definitely wanted it to heat up first because I didn't want to cause too much warping. It's a single layer card, and if, you know, I had done it while it was cold, it would take longer for it to melt and it could cause a lot more warping than, you know, it already had. And it really wasn't that bad. Once I was done, I just folded it a little bit and the card went right back to normal. Alright, so I knew I wanted to do two. So I grabbed the second card and I do the same thing, take my powder and treat the card so that way none of the powder sticks to my fingerprints. And then we're going to ink up the stamp. Now since I've already used it once, I don't have to restamp it because I've already broken in the stamp itself. So on this one you'll see I only ink it up once, stamp it once, and then that's it. And I'll put that to the side and I'll clean my stamp off later. So now I'm grabbing the Platinum, Liquid Platinum by Ranger. And we're going to go ahead and put that on. Now this one, I knew it wasn't going to pop as much as the gold with the sparkly glittery, but I knew that I like this Liquid Platinum and it's very pretty. It has almost a pinkish hue, but it's almost silvery too, you know, like how the platinum looks. I really like it. It's probably one of my favorite embossing powders. The first one that we used, the gold one, is by Nuvo, by the way. And then we're just doing the same thing, heating this one up. And when I was deciding to do this particular image and have it be most of the front of the card, I knew I wanted just a simple sentiment and probably just on a piece of black, you know, that sits up. So what I do is I have a bag of cutouts and stuff like that that I keep near me. And what I did was I just grabbed one of the punches, I think it's a label punch, that I had pre-punched. And I actually had two of them. So I just grabbed those and I treated them with the powder as well because I wanted to heat emboss it in white. So I grabbed the Versamark ink again, and once I stamp the thanks, I'm going to emboss it with the Glacier White by Nuvo. And we're just using the piercing mat to make sure that we get a nice even impression with the clear stamps. And we're going to grab that scratch paper again and go ahead and cover up our thanks. And it's always good just to kind of, you know, check the piece that you're doing, make sure there's no extra embossing powder in places where you don't want it, and make sure that everything is covered. And then I just funnel it back into the container. And then we're going to grab our heat tool. Now here you are going to see, because it's a little bit smaller, the heat, it got close to my nail. So yeah, I dropped that sucker quick because it was hot. But then once I got it down, you know, I've heated up to the A, turned it, and then finished heating up the rest of the word. And then once it cooled, I just took my cloth and wiped along the thanks to take the extra powder off. And then I'm just going to place them both down in the bottom right. And I'm just going to grab a piece of foam tape, excuse me, that I have on the side. I try to keep the stuff that I use the most near me, because sometimes you want a little bit of height, sometimes you don't, sometimes you just want to lay it straight on it. But with the embossing, I felt like the foam tape was going to help attach it. Okay, so once we have them on, we're going to go ahead and take off the backing. And then we're going to do the same thing with the second one. And really and truly, that is a wonderful, just a sweet, simple card. Just a little thanks to send to somebody. Just let them know that you were thinking about them. And it took, what, 2 or 3 steps? You guys, you've got to get this stamp set. Oh my god, it is such a beautiful stamp set. I'm so glad I finally have it. And I can't wait to do more techniques with it, including watercoloring, and all different kinds of stuff. And using the other stamps that are in the collection as well. So, thank you again for joining me today. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button. And down in the more section, I will have a link to this Concord and 9th stamp set for the boutique and for the .com store. And at the very end, we will have videos from our last 3 Scrapbooking with Me boutique videos that we've done. Okay? So, thanks again, you guys, and have a great day.